I do have a hot take with this set.
Yo, we gotta get a judge on that.
Hi all, and welcome to another episode of the Win and End podcast, episode 36. I am here, your host, Eric Dauernheim, with my co-host, Gabe Hohenstein. And today we have a familiar face on the podcast. We've seen him once before. He's a good friend of mine personally, Mr. Staxwell from the Market Watches.
What's up, Sneeple?
He's done it.
Yeah. Man, we got a lot to talk about today because today is Monday, the Monday right after the spoilers. So we got even a few spoilers today that came out, as well as, just the pre-release right around the corner. So how are you feeling? How's this set treating you? Or what's the level of excitement, if there is any right now?
It's pretty up there. I'm not gonna lie. Mechanologist was probably my least favorite class before this, but now I'm ready to jump in and start cooking. I'm excited to play all the heroes.
Hell yeah, yeah. They I will say they did a good job with these heroes. When I first heard that it was going to be all mechanologists, that was the one thing I was curious about. I was like, how are you going to make 3 different mech heroes that feel different enough from each other? But I think they did a pretty good job. They feel like they're going to run totally different roles, basically.
So the hero powers all seem like unique and cool too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, even Dash, the new Dash database, or Dash IO. I don't know what IO stands for, by the way. Me and Gabe were talking about this.
Idea.
Okay, so good. All right, we all don't know what IO stands for. All right.
I'm not a lore guy. I don't think I've ever read any articles or anything like that for it.
Right. Yeah, probably in the lore it would probably describe it. I didn't know if we were missing something, if it's common, if you were a coder you would just know sort of stuff. I don't know.
That's what I thought too. It says so I just googled it real quick. It says input and output is what when you do IO games and whatever.
Okay.
Interesting.
That kind of adds up.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, right. It kind of makes sense, but I don't know. Anyways. Well, what heroes excite you, Gabe? I'm kind of curious. You're a Briar player. You can't play Briar anymore. So does any of these heroes fill that spot?
I definitely think Dash IO is probably more of the play space out of all these. Still don't know for sure.
Okay.
I think if we're looking at all 5 mechanologist heroes, regular Dash is probably still my favorite, but
man,
I don't know. I'm
you
not
said
like
5
I've told everyone.
mechanologist hero. You really gave Data Doll her due.
I mean, it's a mech, dude.
It is a mech.
I'm not gonna be mean to the Data Doll players out there. They're a respectable crew.
All right. Well, all right. I'll stick the same question because you too were a Briar player. That's where you got a lot of your up and coming and showed your presence in the competitive scene. Does any of these mechanologist heroes do it for you, or Staxwell?
I genuinely want to cook with all of them. I mean,
let's go.
The old Dash I'm not super excited about, but all 3 of these heroes look sick, and I'm excited to build with all of them.
Cool.
Not one more than the others. They genuinely all look just as cool to me.
All right, which art is the best then?
That's a good question.
At least decide by the art.
Teklo Vossen.
He is looking pretty sharp.
Gentleman.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he does look pretty sharp. And then, honestly, I'm digging what he turns into as well. I'm digging the art there too. So, the Ultron.
Intense.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I honestly think that I'm right there with you, Staxwell. I started just cooking. I started brewing up some decks. The one that I had the hardest time with, as far as trying to make a CC deck, is the Dash IO. That one I have not figured out. So I'm gonna wait for someone who's more creative than I to try to figure out that one. But I actually do like the old Dash. I think the old Dash actually gets a lot of cards here. So I was actually pretty excited to play with her as well. So we got a lot of mech heroes on the rise, that's for sure.
Feels good.
Now for the big question, though. Is it any of these heroes going to be enough to make Lexi quake? Are we going to have Lexi not the top of the meta anymore? What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe. I genuinely am. Maybe. Max Nitro kind of seems like he'd go quicker, doesn't he?
He does seem like he could do it. I could see like like the old dash with a Tekla Pounder quick build as well. I think an aggro boosting like crazy deck maybe actually legitly could. What do you think, Gabe?
Yeah, so my thoughts are not good. I'll tell you that much. But I'm thinking possible with like Dash IO, but instead of it being like aggro, it's like a fatigue version with all these cool new items we got that are like gain 2 life, gain a resource. I think we're just gonna be like a super slow, like I'm gonna play an item or two, block you out, and do nothing type of deck, and just try to like get resource points here and there when they can. Yeah, so that's my take.
That's a good one. That's
not a good take, but it's my take.
No, I think that's pretty legit because I did hear, and I do agree with this as well, that like with these Mechanologist heroes entering the meta, we are probably going to have another aggro meta on the rise. Which when aggro gets on the rise, control also goes on the rise. And I could totally see some control decks that just look to hunker down and block and just like basically try to fatigue these aggro decks. So I think that is something that we could see on the horizon. I think that's pretty fair to say.
I mean, that's your play style, so you might be the one to find it.
I did make a Tree Frog dash. That's right.
So with Oldham and Beefy Briar gone, who's the best like fatiguer these days?
Oh, dude, that's such a good question. Uzuri, interesting, yeah, because Tao made the Uzuri fatigue deck. Arachne has some new pieces. You could even possibly think about Arachne.
Well, he did get the
man, that's a great question. Like, what would be? I guess I don't know.
Maybe
I guess
trap Riptide. It's time to shine.
Yeah, maybe Riptide. Unironically.
Yeah, that's like not terrible. He like you get so many different D reacts. Maybe actually.
Right.
Yeah, maybe I would look at making a Riptide deck. Oh man, yeah, that's a great question. I think Tree Frog Dash, Riptide, even who knows. But I am also excited on the opposite end as well. I do like playing aggro here and there, and yeah, I think Max Nitro. Now here's the deal: we have something special with us right now, Gabe, because we have Staxwell here, who has to be the first. There's like no way anyone else has done it.
Oh yes.
Yeah, to put out a deck tag video for Max Nitro. Now, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's very cool. I'm sure it's changed now a little bit with some of these newer cards coming in. But yeah, what is your envisionment of Max Nitro?
I mean, I just purely like, it wasn't like about being the first or whatever. None of that. I wasn't doing it for YouTube clout. I was just genuinely excited about the deck and excited to cook, and I just needed to talk about it, and I needed to put it out there and get some conversations going. I was just excited to do that. So that's why I made the video. Yeah, I mean, I go over all my thoughts on the deck in the video. It seems like a super fast deck. I really think it's. Yeah, when I made it, I was thinking about like the next format after Lexi's gone, and I do think he's probably going to be the best aggro deck after she's gone. He probably could stand toe to toe with her now, but once she's gone, like what's next? Ninja? I don't think Ninja could keep up with that.
Yeah, I like Fi maybe, but like the explosiveness of Fi is there with Mechanologists as well. Like they
Max Velocity. What's that new card? Yellow Max?
Oh yeah. That one.
What is that? Hold on, let's get some names here.
Yeah, let's get some names. I'm looking it up now. I actually like that card a lot. It's a great finisher.
I love it.
Moonshot. Is that what we're talking about?
I believe so.
The art on that one's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Dude, there's so many bike art in this set. It's I mean, we don't see any other cars, so I guess everyone's just doing bikes since there's no cars here. Or I guess there is kind of some cars. There's like some boxy cars. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. Now you're going. I'm kind of curious. I saw your video. I haven't played the deck or anything. You're trying to make um, hyperdrivers when you can, right? Like what? How many hyperdrivers are you expected to have like on a given turn?
I mean, I think you could realistically have a full two every turn, right? I mean, once you like get the two going, then the
Right.
two pay for
Nice.
themselves, and you could just keep the two around every
You're
turn,
like on the
right?
hyperdriver train at that point.
Right. Yeah, it's almost like the seismic surge train.
That's
Once
exactly
they're
what I
going,
thought.
they're going. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it seems legit. I think you're absolutely right. I think he is the hero. Like, there's always one, right? And it's usually the aggro one that comes out of the gate swinging. I think that's
Hmm.
Max Nitro. Um, and then with the hyper drivers, you get the Nitro Mechanoid. That's always,
Right.
yep,
Always fun. Yeah.
always super super fun, especially with high octane. So it's Teklo Voss is not the only guy that's building a big suit. You can also have Max
Right.
Nitro as well. So I'm excited. I'm excited for it. But I will say, Teklo Voss was the first guy. Once I saw his new card that came out today, his Demi Hero, I was like, okay, that was the first card that made me. I'm gonna start brewing. I'm gonna start going. Um,
For me,
yeah.
it was a super early card. It was like just like one of those battle tank 3 for 10s with dominate, and
Uh-huh.
I was like, all
Yeah.
right, block, 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 make a Evo suit, and then throw 3 for 10s with overpower. Like I'm in.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah. Teklo Boston looks dope. What cards have got you excited, Gabe, in this set?
Yeah, there's a couple that I like. Probably because I'm like a fly to like a light, but I really like Twin Drive. I think that one has a lot of potential. And
Oh,
something
the
cool.
double boost.
Yeah, the double boost.
Yeah, that one's really good.
Just because, well, it's the art and then the ability on the card to help with prior cards and like Pulse Wave, like we talked earlier.
Like
I
maximum
thought that card
velocity
was
as
sweet.
well.
Yep. Other cards, I mean, I've read the cards, but I haven't like really digested the cards. I'll be honest. I did think Moonshot was really cool. Since we're just
Yeah,
on that,
yeah.
I like the ability on that. But if we're really talking about cards that have like stood out to me, Big Bertha is probably my favorite still. It's just Big Bertha.
I knew you liked that card. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, Gabe's gonna chuckle with this one." Yeah,
Yeah, Big Bertha. I really like that. I think like my favorite part about the cards they've made in this set is like Banksy, Big Bertha. All the ones just have like really good flavor in the words.
I see.
Like
Yeah,
it's like all the words they gave everything just I don't know, it fits so well.
Flesh and Blood has always done a very good job at like not shying away from the puns and the
Which is so
words
good.
we know. Yeah, no, there's like one that today is like full tilt. Like yeah, like
Yeah, exactly.
we know what
Is
that
there
means,
actually?
and they know
Hold
that.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah, full
I
tilt.
didn't even see that one.
yeah. It's cool too because it has the pirate guy from the freewheeling renegades cards from Outsiders.
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the other funny one they had? It was like the UPS or FedEx. It was basically like their version of UPS, but as like the Nitro version. I gotta find that now. I thought it was so funny. MedX. MedX.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Made me giggle.
That's a good one.
I don't know. Just their names are great.
All right. Well, we also got the Fable that came
Mhm.
out today. It was pulled by Master Set Madness.
Last Pack Magic.
Last Pack Magic. So, Gabe, this is clearly a Fable for. Well, I guess this actually. I was thinking this is only for Dash, but this actually works fairly decent
I was
for
thinking-
Max.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I was like, oh, that's gonna go great with
Yeah.
Max.
Interesting. All right. Well, first, let me ask you, Gabe, and then I'll ask you, Staxwell. What do you think of this as a person that wants to build a new Dash? How does this fit in perfectly? Does this lack something? What do you think?
I think I can't answer too much to this. I haven't yet again like built a new Dash yet. I've looked at it. I thought it was
Yeah,
cool. I've looked at the
definitely.
cards. I think Crank is great. I mean, we know all Fables aren't inherently playable when they first come out. I can't say I see this necessarily slotting in perfectly. I think if you're going that fatigue route, maybe you can think about trying to get some value from it. But I like the idea of it with Max because even Banksy is worrying about adding cranks and whatnot. So
Okay.
I see two keywords and that's where I go to.
What about you, Staxwell? Like, does this hit the list of the Max Nitro?
Probably not.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, yeah, it just doesn't immediately call to me. I won't say it's bad because, yeah, I could be missing something here. It doesn't seem like the worst card ever, but it's not like a card I would immediately reach to put in my deck.
Right. Yeah, it's I think I mean obvious okay, let's just say, what's the obvious thing here is that if it just had it on an item, if it didn't have to have crank, it would
Right.
be
Oh my God.
probably one of the most busted fables. And the old pistol dash would just run haywire.
So cool.
Even if it was a red pitch and it did that, like the old pistol dash would just fucking love it. But yeah, it's probably because it is reduced to crank. It is in a very niche setting, and so I would probably agree. As far as with Max Nitro, it doesn't attack, and it doesn't do like a ton for the deck itself. So yeah, probably just doesn't see it.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
imagine
even
it
if
looks
you
great.
even
Let's
if
go
you
for it.
get the value off it, right? Like it's pitching for 2 and then it's making a counter which is like 1 value, so it's really just a blue pitch that's not blocking. And
Yeah, that's
then
a good point.
in Dash IO, she has 36 life, so immediately people are going to throw Heart in the deck, right? Just like they do with every other hero with 36 life. So are you playing Heart and Master Cog? 2 gems has
Right.
never ever worked in any deck. I
Yeah.
just don't see it making the list. Maybe in Tech Lovasin, maybe there's some kind of thing I'm missing there, but I'm not sure. Like, is he
He
even
doesn't crank
cranking?
that
I don't
much.
think he
Yeah.
does. Yeah. So it doesn't seem great to me, and it's also missing like that funness that like something like Plague
Mm.
Hive has. When you read Plague Hive, you're like, oh, this is a fun card. I can't wait to pitch this card. Whereas like Master Cog, it's just not quite hitting that level of
Sure.
fun to me.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. It is interesting. It seems like we've gotten like back to back to back yellow fables. Um,
Yeah.
so they
Yeah,
kept
we
with
have.
that. And I don't think there's like it made sense with the last set. And even Plague Hive, like you're kind of like, okay, but like with this one, I don't think there's any rhyme or reason for it being yellow. So I wonder if there's something going on, if there's something that's a bigger picture as far as these
Could be.
being yellow.
I
Yeah.
wonder if
Yeah,
it's
that's-
just their way of like making sure the cards aren't too good.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder even if blue would be too powerful. Like,
Even in blue, it wouldn't
Yeah!
excite me. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
really
know.
wouldn't excite me.
I don't know. Maybe it's what it might be, and because I'll say this right here, right now, is that I remember when Icelander first came out, and this is pre Michael Hamilton Bullander days, and Icelander was okay. She had her matchups, but she had a lot of flaws as well. She was okay. And the 36 health seemed like it was a little too punishing. It was like, whatever. But then like she was kind of stepped on a bit, and then the U.S. Nationals happened, and history's from there, right? I kind of wonder if that's what's going on with this dash here. At least on my perspective, I feel like I'm sleeping on this dash, and with it having 36 life, like that's got to be for a reason, right? It's got to be because it's really good. Now
Say the same thing about Prism.
Yeah, that being said, yeah, I thought Prism was gonna just bust out, and that didn't happen. So who knows? But I do wonder if I'm missing something, and maybe that's why Master Cog is yellow and not blue, because just Dash would be way too powerful with it if it was blue. I don't know. So
Could be.
it's a thought. It's a theory.
She seems strong to me. Like my initial thought is like what direction you take the deck is you play like all the grenades and
the booms,
the hadron colliders.
Okay.
And you just like go fast and then get them with those 2 cards at instant speed. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Okay.
That's my initial thought. That's the initial direction I would take it. I mean, it's totally possible that she can go a slower route like Gabe was talking about earlier, but like lobbing grenades is like my first instinct with her.
I do like those
though.
boom grenades. Those are going to be so critical in limited. Like those are going to. I would just play those even with every hero. Honestly.
Well, yeah, just
unblockable damage
unpreventable.
is pretty gnarly.
She's got a lot of sick tools too, like mini force
Mhm.
field at instant speed. Like if your opponent's a
Yeah.
Kano and they're trying to do stuff and you throw in a mini, like she's got a lot of sick stuff. I think she's probably like, yeah, I think you're right. Like the most slept on heroes so far. Not a lot of people are like talking about her, but
Mhm.
I could see her being the best. I could see any of them being the best.
I'm scared. I'm scared because what will happen is, like I said, I'm waiting for someone else to do it. So what's going to happen is someone else is going to get me with it. You know, I'm gonna be playing I'm gonna play Tree Fog Dash. I'm gonna like, all right, things are going good, and then I'm just gonna get swept, and I'm like, oh wow, oh man. All right, well, yeah, that's about. It was an exciting week, and that's about what's went on this weekend. It's just all these spoiler cards, and we're all getting our minds racing for this mechanologist
Mhm.
set.
Oh, one more thing before we get off it.
Let's do it.
I want to talk about how they don't got AB for the Evo bases. Like if they have the Evo
Mm,
game plan or if they're upgrading the
mm,
armor, they don't have
mm.
arcane barrier.
That's a very good topic, actually. Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. So,
Is Are they
they're
just gonna
shooting
let
fireworks
Kano
outside my
farm them?
house.
I like
Uh,
that sentence.
yeah, it seems like this could be a very Kano meta, which is kind of
Perfect.
interesting because Kano came out at the same time Dash came out, right? So maybe he's always been, but like it's the thing is that Dash was one of Kano's hard matchups before, just because of how fast Dash was. So maybe like with Max Nitro, maybe he doesn't care especially if you go for the Construct Nitro route. Maybe you just don't care. Maybe you just get him. You just go too fast for him. But Tekla Boston, yeah, that's probably gonna be not a great matchup.
Is
Just
he just gonna
because,
like fold it, or is he gonna try and play like Rusted Relics out there and stuff?
yeah, Rusted
Rusted
Relics.
Relics.
There's Aether Sync. He could legitly play Arcane Lantern and just not have a weapon to attack with, which isn't like the worst because you didn't really need it against Kano anyways. But yeah, it's probably going to be a very bad matchup. You're going to have to hope Drumide's around to keep Kano at bay. But yeah, if Kano is pretty big in the meta, or at least in your local meta, probably consider that before playing Tekla Boston. That's all I gotta say.
I didn't
Yeah,
think
no,
of that.
that's a good point. That is a very good point. Luckily, well, you know what? Actually, I could probably answer that question. I think the real reason is because this is the first time a set feels so geared towards limited, and I feel like every decision is based on limited, except for the cards that you would get as the extra card, basically.
Mhm.
And so, because there is no arcane in limited, there is no AB or ways to do AB, and I don't think that they considered cards are outside of that. We might see that in like a next expansion set or expansion slot or whatever. But as of now, I think that's probably the big reason. I do have a hot take with this set. All right, now, here it is, because this is interesting. I'm sure I'm not the only one that think this, but let's see what you guys think. How do you guys feel about having like Tommy gun gangsters, as well as like everyone's driving a motorbike, as well as we have Ant-Man and Wasp Woman, the hyper cybernetic stuff, and so that's all in the city of metrics, and then you like step outside and you have Reinhardt swinging a club and Bravo swinging a hammer, and it's just totally different. Like,
There we're at.
yeah, it's a fantasy game, but here we got some futuristic concepts. What do you guys take on that? Because I'm not really for it. It's a little it breaks the realm of fantasy for me. That's my hot
Staxwell
take.
can go first because I got a hot take that follows this hot take. That's a dumb take. So Staxwell's got the lead.
I mean, I don't care about the lore. I don't feel immersed in the game. I just like it because it's like a math problem. It's like soothing for my gamer
It's just a
autism,
brain.
It's just like it's just a fun puzzle for me to put together, and the picture that the puzzle makes at the end doesn't bother me too much. But I totally understand where you're coming from. It like thematically doesn't really fit.
It just seems like everyone from Metric should just dominate, You know, like, okay, all right, cool. You can like shoot a fireball. Here's like fucking like 25 rounds from my Tommy gun. I don't know.
God.
All right, Gabe, let's hear your
So,
your
my
hot
thought,
dumb take.
if it was to me, so I've talked to you about this earlier because I actually made this a skit in the most recent Market Monday, but I cut it because I was like, nah, I don't need to go that far. Because I saw that they're doing a lot of guns, like the Tommy gun, the so on, and I was talking about the card Deadeye, and then it just clicked in my mind. I'm like, Deadeye Ranger. Why don't we have like a gunslinging cowboy as a ranger if we're allowed to do guns now? And I want a Wild West set if we're doing this kind of thing. And so now that we have this, I'm expecting my Wild West gunslinger ranger. And
It's
until
just
I get it, I'm not content.
it's just gonna feel so. I mean, okay, sure, I would obviously not like that. I'd probably hate that a lot. But would there? I do like westerns. I do like watching westerns, so a part of me would like that. But it's just gonna feel so weird. Like, especially, there's a lot of thoughts out there that the Savage Lands is next, and that'd be really cool. I'd be all about it. Let's get Reinhardt some
Bro,
love.
they use bazookas in RPGs. What do you think they're going to be doing?
It's just, I would fucking find it hilarious if just Metrics just invaded the Savage Lands and just mowing down these birds.
Yeah, I don't think we could do. It's just too much. It's baby stepping, It's a slippery slope, if you will. Like, today it's westerns, tomorrow it's hot dog suits, and before you know it, we're full blown Fortnite, and we just can't do that.
Yes, thank you. I remember when T-Bone came out, I saw the motorcycle. I was like, you know what? That's okay, whatever. It's steampunky, but steampunk's a thing of the fucking past in this game now. Like, it's all about the fucking future. I don't know. You know what? Your answer, Staxwell, it's a very my hot take is a very Twitter like hot take. I'm just stirring stuff, right? I'm just you're a very calm guy. And Gabe,
Which take?
On your like
the Fortnite one?
No, the Fortnite one was good.
Care.
I like that Fortnite one. That's my favorite one. That supports my theory. Oh man, no, and then Gabe, you're just like the guy who comments just to get me even more, heated up.
Rally you up.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
Hyping you up, yeah.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's my hot.
Good hot take. It's a good hot take.
So on the new Teklo Vossen card, the Demi hero, do you just put it on top of your current hero then?
Yeah, I think it would work something similar to like the Levi Redeem sort of situation.
Right. So he just, since he has a star next to his health, he just takes your current health when you make him, right?
Yeah, that's how I would read it. Yeah.
But if he dies, do you die, or does he just come off your hero?
Well, so he has Battle Worn. So I think you can just, you can continue blocking with him. He only had negative counters. I don't think that would be that bad.
But what if you buckle and buckling blowed him?
Bap.
Or you shredded him?
Oh, yeah, shred.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that'd be
you couldn't even play this against Uzuri or Arachne.
You just don't block with it against Uzuri.
I guess that's fair, yeah.
But you're losing a lot of value like that.
Well, but with Buckle, even if you're like, I just won't block, you could just get buckled.
Yeah, you could just get buckling blow buckled. How does that work? Do you die? We need a judge on that one.
Honestly, we need a judge. Holy shit. I didn't even think about that. Because Buckle destroys the equipment, and I think
his
so.
Equipment, and he's also you.
I think you would.
This is
I don't know.
Sacrificial pack.
I don't know. We definitely need to get the release notes, but.
Mm-hmm. No, that's valid.
Yeah, imagine, bro. Imagine dying to a Buckle. Holy shit. That's insane.
Buckle stocks go up.
So can you just not cast this against like Bravo? I don't know.
It feels like you'd want to, because like that's one of the matchups where it's like a little slower, so you could. Oh,
right.
Man, damn.
He could probably cover a buckling blower. He's got 6 armor. I don't know.
He does allow. Yeah, 6 armor is pretty good.
Maybe you cast him and only block that combo. Don't block anything else.
To the dome.
He needs to be healthy to block that out.
That's so true. Yeah, that's got it. Oh, there's a powder keg that destroys equipments too.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, does it? Hold on now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that works with guns, but now we have a ton of guns. I mean, Hanabi Blaster is already a good gun, but now we have even more
Oh.
guns. That's actually legit
Oh,
too.
defending equipment. Yeah. So they
Yeah,
just if they have a powder keg out, you just can't block
you just.
with
I mean, but
Teklovasen. But what if you instant it out with Dash IO? After it hits, you instant out powder keg effect. Yo,
oh my
we gotta
God.
get a judge on that.
We figured it out. Deck is
Hold
figured.
on.
that's insane.
How much are cold full powder kegs? Oh, they've gone up. Dang,
You know
they got
what?
bought out.
Yeah,
We're not the first ones to think
do
of this.
a video for it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was like what to buy
Forever
for
ago.
bright lights,
Yeah.
and that was one of the ones because like that was like everyone like predicted pulse wave harpoon and stuff like that, nitro mechanoid. But I was like, let me look for like the small ones, and that was one of them.
Right.
Plasma mainline was another one. Yeah, that's insane. That's kind of cool.
That's a sweet combo.
That makes me feel sad. I was really like wanted it to be the be all with Technical Boss. Like once you play this out, you kind of just win. But like, there's a lot of ways to destroy it. That's for sure.
A lot of ways.
Well, hell, even Arg Smash just destroys it.
Yeah.
Damn, is Technical Boss like a glass cannon? Is he like weak to a lot of heroes? He might be.
Is that like a something you just keep pitching and you only make it as a last ditch effort? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I just want to throw 3 for 10s with overpower at people.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't care about transforming to a demi hero.
Yeah,
That's alright. It happens.
that's fair. Those big ass turrets are pretty cool. So yeah, maybe you just do that. Ugh, jeez. Anything else? Do you want to talk about anything else here, Gabe?
I think my last thought on this subject is for the Fable, I hope those little electricity things are where the cold foil lines up to.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. That'd be cool.
I'm hopeful. I'm really hoping for that.
That would be
They do a pretty good job. I trusted they'll do that. I got it. Oh man, the cold foil Ultron would be cool too.
Oh my lord! I think they just dropped the other side, like not the Fables or the Marvel side.
Oh, just like the
Ultron
regular.
guy. Yeah,
Oh,
it looks kind of funny, like a good funny.
I want to see this real quick.
It's on the very bottom of February, like if you're in the spoiler section.
Wait, hasn't that always been? Or that was there like a few days ago too, right? Or no?
Let me see.
I'll send it. I'll send it
Oh,
over.
it just looks.
on
Oh,
the
but
right
I
side
see what
stack.
you're saying as far as like the where the power and the toughness and the
It makes me think of like those old Magic cards where you'd level up, but it's just on the other
Yeah,
side.
it kind of does look like that. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't want that. I guess I gotta have the Marvel because I think the
Bummer,
Marvel looks
bro.
so much better.
The Marvel does, dude. That Marvel is so splendid. It's so clean.
That's funny. Oh, that's a legendary. Okay, yeah. So we're just missing one more legendary. Okay, cool.
Oh, the new heroes. They're the demi heroes are legendary as well.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
This, yeah. So we have Staxwell in the building with us. The Market Watch guy of Flesh and Blood. Were you the first to do it? I don't know. You were definitely the first to really get it going. I know that.
I think he was the first one for Market Watch.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I know I started looking for videos, and because I didn't see any Market Watch videos, that's why I started making them.
Mhm.
But I know other people have commented on my videos and said something about kitchen table TCG. So I don't know if he used to do that. It was before my time. I have no idea.
Fair enough.
But a lot of people comment about that.
Well, his time came and gone. So, comes in Staxville, rising up with the king, and now you are the Market Watch guy. Yeah. So having the Market Watches, we like you said, you were looking for it. That's how it kind of started. But what goes into it? Like what's the process about it? Like how do you kind of figure out what cards you want to talk about? Like what kind of appeals to you?
Yeah, every now and then I'll get like someone will post on Twitter and say like, oh, this card spiked, or I'll just naturally be looking at the market and I'll see some crazy spike, or someone will message me and be like, have you seen this? And then sometimes like that kind of stuff inspires it. But a lot of times, particularly lately in like this more like flatlined market that we have, it's like I just like, oh, I want to make a video. So then I sit down and then I start looking at the market and then I talk about what I see, but it's very like premeditated. I'm like, I want to make a video, so I sit down and I look at the market for like an hour, and then I condense everything I see and talk about it.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. And then you also do quite a bit of like speculations where you'll be like I know that you have some arc smashes and
Right.
some other cards like that. So what helps is you're a player, hence
Very good
having the
player.
deck tech out. Yeah, very good player. And so, at least, there is some weight with what you're saying. It's not just like a collection base. It's like, hey, this card's probably going to go up because, this is really good in this meta or whatnot. I guess my question here is how much of that plays into it? Like when like you're seeing into like a new meta, does your like instinct to speculate on these cards play into it, or do you first find out what the market looks like and then make that speculation?
Yeah, I think it's all like playing and being in the trenches and at locals every day and watching other people play weird combinations of cards that are like, just one good card away from working, and then that good card gets spoiled and you're like, wait, I've seen this before. Just like grinding locals, playing competitively, being in, the discords and brewing the decks ourselves and everything. That's 100% what goes into that decision before the market stuff does.
Okay. Okay. Cool. How about you, Gabe? What you got? Because Gabe does, as our viewers will know, Gabe does Market Mondays, which is a little bit different. There's less speculation, just more just like kind of
What
news
moves?
reporting on the trends, basically.
I think a lot of it is just theatrical. It's my love of it.
That is true. You have a bit with it. It's a fun bit. But I'm curious if you have any questions running as Market Monday.
I think just playing in the ground, like you said, is probably the best way to go about it. I would imagine, like, because I haven't even done a lot of like high end pro play, so I think that really, that's I guess my question was just like how that affects finding the cards and just getting the hone to like this is it, What about when it comes to like when you're trying to figure out like rare promos or anything of that nature? Do you have any, minus it being like a playable card? Do you ever do any like, I guess it's like hunting to see, I guess, how rare it could be, or what other some things entail that's not just playable, like other cards that spike that aren't playable, if that makes sense.
Right. I think a big one is like looking at cards that aren't playable, but they could be playable, and you would only know that if you played the game all the time, right? So like if you've seen like the Alt-Art Sigil of Solace or the Alt-Art Fade Foreseen, of course those are playable. Everyone knows they're playable. But if you look at something like I can't think of an example off the top of my head, like a Cold Foil Shiver, you're like, oh, that card's bad. But then it's like, well, if you think about it, Dominate actually could be pretty good, and then like all these other applications that could come of the card. So it's just like the bad cards that maybe aren't terrible, right? Like the Wounded Bulls of the promos. That's what you got to try and find, I guess.
Yeah. And Shiver was close. Voltaire, if that got banned, Shiver would have been the weapon.
Yeah, and I mean that one didn't pan out. That probably is still just a bad weapon. But like Wounded Bull was just a bad card until it won, right?
I remember that.
Yep. Yeah. So you have you have almost 1.5k. You're so close to 1.5k subscribers. That's pretty damn cool. You have been making Market Watch videos quite a bit, but you also do deck tech videos as well. Just kind of wondering, what's the next step? Are we just kind of keep on with the Market Watch? Is there anything else that you are looking at horizon? The day one deck tech was pretty damn cool. I really liked it. I'm just kind of curious.
I think can I add on to this real quick, if that's right? Because Eric forgot about some of the cool things. He's also done like philosophy videos too. Like
that's right. So, yeah.
Like, I want to thumbtack that onto this.
That's a good
amalgamation of question. All right, continue.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know how it is. Like, we're not making bank off YouTube or anything doing this stuff. It's purely just off passion. I do it because I love the game. You guys do it because you love the game. None of us are in this for the money or anything like that. If I have a burning desire to make something or to play something, or then I'll do it. I don't have long-term goals like in that way. I want to keep just doing what I love to do. So like I really want to make that day one max
Cool.
deck tech, so I did.
Hmm.
But no, I don't think too much about it, man. I just have fun with it, and whatever I
No.
want to do, I do.
Just true to
Oh, yeah.
yourself with how it is.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what like got you a lot of the views from the get go. Like it's we get to see the actual Staxwell. Like it's not a bit. It's not which I really like. Obviously because we're friends in real life. So it's like yeah, I get to see your YouTube, and that's like the same person, right? All right. Well, we got the spoiler season here. We got some pre-releases coming up around the corner. Then we got
This week,
ProQuest
baby.
season. Yeah.
Wait, what is on the horizon for Team Sneep though?
Oh, for Team Sneep. Oh, dude, Team Sneep is we're just chilling.
I'm just vibing.
I will say, and okay, Team Sneep, that's cool, but I'm the only Vegas guy of Team Sneep, so I want to bring back the Vegas bus. I want to go and drive to Salt Lake City, do some PQs, and then I'm even go to California, do some over there too. I'm all about that. I'm excited. There's 2 in Vegas. I'm excited for the ProQuest season, and I hope I don't play Lexi. I hope that I can just play one of these new heroes or something.
I mean, the
I'm
prize
very much
support
looking
looks
forward
good
to
for
it.
it.
The
Like,
price
it'd be worth the driving.
Gold foil.
It should be
Gold
worth
foil is
for it,
great.
yeah. And heroes and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, we both got one last ProQuest season. I think we both got it on Briar too. Right?
Oh, right, yeah, last ProQuest season, yeah, Briar.
Yeah, yeah. Which is not available for us this time.
Rats, bro. It's a sad day.
If,
I mean, some people are drafting.
That's true. Some of it is like some.
What?
Yeah, there's some bright
I
lights
get to
drafting.
draft mine.
Yeah,
Wow.
so we are coming out with some limited draft videos. So
Oh yeah, this week.
keep your eye out for that. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun season for sure. Now I'm kind of curious. Briar's your girl, right? I mean, that was your favorite hero. Am I right to say that?
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, all right.
That's fair.
I asked all the guests, like, what the favorite hero. I think you're our first Briar, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
We got a lot of Viscerais and dashes.
A lot of those.
That makes sense.
Yeah, right. If let's say none of the Mechanologist heroes are quite there, what would you play? I'm thinking I might just join the dark side and play Lexi.
No, I wouldn't play Lexi. I think Lexi is a fun deck to play against. I think it's a fun puzzle to solve, and it's a fun thing to like tech against. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't. It's the mirror. The mirror is what turns me off to the deck.
I totally understand that.
So I won't be playing it. I'll be playing something that counters it, or I would have something spicy for it.
Okay. Right,
maybe
cool.
Uzuri, probably Uzuri if I'm being honest.
Uzuri's a very great counter for it, that's for sure. Yeah.
Or maybe
she
Icelander again.
And she got some new cards too.
Yeah, the gloves look super sick to me, and so does the new 6
Already
attack. Both the cards look good. Yeah.
Yep. That's another great way to disrupt Lexi. By the way, speaking of disruption, especially since Uzuri can run this card, Amnesia. I am curious. I am amongst 2 market guys here. Have we seen any movement on Amnesia?
Like 2 weeks ago, it went up a good like 40-50% or something.
Okay.
So I remember talking about it like within this last month.
That card is so anti-boost, it's not even funny.
Wait, no, that's the one that says they can't gain names. You must be thinking of what was the other one?
I'm thinking. Oh, you're right. No. Erase face. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh,
that's what I'm thinking of.
I haven't seen that moving for years. That thing's like a buck.
Erase face have moved down. Yeah, it's $1.
Yeah,
this used to be like a $20 Majestic.
I know. It seems like it'd be so good, especially if you expect to see a ton of dashes. Very interesting. Okay. All right. Good. Thank you. See,
well, it's time to stock up on these, I suppose.
that's the take from the non-market guy. All right. Well, cool. Good shit. All right. Gabe, is there anything else you wanna add on?
No, life is great. I just love having Staxwell on. I love his face, so that's where I'm
Yeah,
at.
yeah. An easy guest to have, that's for sure.
It's like
I,
family, just bringing it in.
it's the fam. The boys are together.
The boys.
All right, good shit, man. I appreciate you coming on, Staxwell. Thank you so much. Thank you again, Gabe, for co-hosting with me, and thank you to all those that watched this one. I greatly appreciate it. We're going to try. Oh, actually, it is in the books. Last time I said we were going to try to have a certain guest on that didn't fall through. Staxwell came in clutch. It is in the books, though, that we are going to have Bryn from Banished Zone on next week. So expect that. But until then, keep on fabbing.